Good morning and good weekend. I, as I put in the description, no plan. Just sitting here like a bump on a log. Didn't really have anything to do. Um, I don't even have the TV on at the moment, and I don't know. I hadn't really thought anymore about football this weekend. I've sent a couple invites out if those individuals want to come in, and I can send out more if somebody requests one or comes into the room to chat. But yeah, these games this weekend, I was just looking at CBS, and of course they're talking about the Chiefs that Mahomes um, seems like he's ready to go. Uh, I guess probably not at 100%. But I was listening to an interview earlier this week with a doctor that was talking about some high ankle sprains, which is, I guess, what Patrick Mahomes has. And they were discussing how difficult it is to play with that injury. And from what I understood from what this doctor was saying, some players, and I think Daniel Jones might have been one, maybe even Mahomes himself, and um, seemed like there was somebody else had this injury this year and was able to play reasonably well. Um, so I got the impression anyway that I had originally thought that this would be an injury that was really bad and quite crippling for a player to try, especially a quarterback, to try to go out there and perform at a level not necessary to be, uh, well, anywhere close to their potential. And I don't know, maybe that's not the case. Maybe more should be expected from Mahomes in this game than what I was expecting. But we'll find out, obviously. Um, and then looking at the report on the Bengals' offensive line, that I think they are still hurting somewhat, and that's not good because their offensive line all year really hadn't been. Uh, I guess it was expected to be better than what it had been. Now last year it was really bad, and they still went a long ways, obviously all the way to the Super Bowl and almost won it. I believe they thought that they had addressed it pretty well in the off season and expected it to be a lot better early on in the season. Of course, it seemed like it wasn't even as good as it had been the previous year. And maybe it did get a little better as the season went along, but now with the injuries, obviously, there has to be a lot of concern. They did well against Buffalo. I don't know if the weather had anything to do with that or not, because it seemed like the Bengals defensive line was getting a lot of pressure consistently on Allen. And I'm thinking, why didn't that? Why wasn't that the case on the side where you had a Buffalo defense trying to get pressure through a banged up offensive line? Why weren't they able to do the same thing? Why weren't they able to get in there and hurry Burrow more than they did? So I don't know really what to expect with the Bengals offensive line. The Chiefs defense, honestly, I probably underrated a little bit. I know it's not too bad. Whether I would expect it to be really good, at times they probably are, and in other times they might be more average. Um, so I really don't know what to expect again from their defense against the Chiefs or the Bengals offense. I did pick the Bengals to win that game, and I have more trust in Burrow than I do Mahomes. But the quarterback, of course, is just one guy, a very important one out on the field. I don't know if I trust him a lot more than Mahomes, but Mahomes and the Chiefs too often in the past have gone the first 2 or 3 quarters, not done a whole lot on offense. Then they get to the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden they put like 20 or more points on the board in that final quarter, and it looks like they had a real good day all day long. If you end up with the points, I guess that's all that matters. It's just against a team like the Bengals, I don't think that they can really afford to wait too long to get in their rhythm, unless their defense does a heck of a job against Burrow. But there's no doubt that Burrow and the Bengals have had success against Mahomes and the Chiefs the last few times they played them. I believe it's 3 times in a row that they've beaten them, perhaps 4. If if it's a close game, I do like the Bengals still. If Mahomes is able to be mobile as well as look comfortable when he's in the pocket, then I don't know. I'd given a chance to pick that game again. I'd probably go with the Chiefs, but that's only if Mahomes is near 100%, and I see him maybe being 80 to 85% at best. But then again, the Bengals' offensive line is banged up, and they're not able to perform or have the success that they did last week against Buffalo. Then the Bengals' offense won't be able to put enough points up on the board to beat the Chiefs. On the other side, the Eagles were really impressive against the Giants, and I don't know if that was all the Eagles or if the Giants just, once things started out bad, just lost the psychological edge that they needed to stay in that game or try to fight their way back into it. That was just a thing where they got too far behind and probably weren't able to just stay focused on running the offense the way they expected. They might have felt more pressured to try to do things a little more aggressively than they maybe otherwise wanted to. Had to speed the game up rather than slow it down. I mean, you can slow a game down, but then once you get a couple scores or more behind, you don't really have that. You don't really have that at your disposal anymore because you need the time to get back in that football game. And although the Giants aren't like the team from 1990 that played the Bills in the Super Bowl, might be better than that on offense. I don't really know. But when they played Buffalo, of course, completely different rosters, that was their game plan, to slow that game down, to keep the Bills offense off the field. And of course, they were able to do a really good job of that, keeping the ball for over 8 minutes at a time a couple of times, and kept that game relatively low scoring. This Giants team probably had a similar idea of maybe the way they wanted to attack the Eagles. But whether they did or didn't, if that was something that they were considering by the time they got through the first half of the first quarter or first 10 minutes of the first quarter, I think they probably felt like their game plan was something they had to scrap, and they had to try to improvise after that. And the Eagles were just firing on all cylinders offensively and defensively in that game. Don't know if that's going to change this week against the 49ers. I am very impressed with Purdy, and I hate to doubt him. I don't really see it as doubting him so much as maybe just being up against a team and a defense that's just a little bit too good for him to have the same success. And, if he had a little bit more experience, would that be better for him? Obviously, yeah, but I don't know how much better. Purdy's playing at a level right now that just exceeds his time in the league. And, if somebody's playing at that level, and he's probably playing at a level that's better than a lot of guys that have been playing all season, he's just got that poise. He seems to read the defense or read his progressions very well. Some of the plays he made last week against Dallas, like that pass across the middle to Kittle, I mean, that juggling type catch that he made, and some of the other plays, the one with Kittle that I was just mentioning, he rolled out to his left and then came back to the middle of the field. But I've just seen a lot of plays where he just seems like he's really knows where his runners or his receivers are in their routes and delivers a ball in a very good place. Even some of the times he's not completing a pass. There was I think it was the game before that against Seattle where he just placed the ball really nice in the side of the end zone. It was incomplete, but it was just the fact that he was able to read that play, see that route, see that opening there, and be able to place the ball right in that spot where his receiver had a chance to get it. He didn't make the catch, but it was just a pretty well nicely placed ball. And I mean, those are the kind of things, just seeing those, that gives me confidence that Purdy is a legitimate quarterback and can play at this level. I just look at the way that the Eagles are playing, and the Eagles just all around, offense, defense, everything might be playing too good right now. And so I'm reasonably comfortable in my prediction of the picking the Eagles to win that football game. I don't think I'll really stray away from that and think that I'm going to pick the 49ers or anything tomorrow. It would take finding out that Hurts wasn't playing, and even then, I'd give the Eagles a chance to win that one. But anyway, I was sitting here this morning, and I didn't really have anything to do. I talked to Rob for a little while on the phone. Him and Darlene have headed out of town to North Carolina for a day. To me, I just, that's something I wouldn't do. Drive 5 hours for one day unless somebody was with me. And that was their plan, and I wouldn't really care to do that though. And he seems to like driving enough that doesn't bother him, but I wouldn't be interested in doing that. I just don't like being in a vehicle that much. Being in a vehicle over 3 or 4 hours is it's not torture, but for me, it's just I start wanting to get out after about 3 or 4 hours. Of course, I've played a couple games in my 1975 National League, and might get around to doing that again in the morning or something tomorrow. I thought about doing it this morning, and that was what I was considering yesterday. And then I woke up at 7, and I just didn't really feel like getting on the computer that early, so I scratched that plan, and I just was playing a game of the 1984 American League that I've been doing at home. Well, I do it all at home, but just doing it offline and using that, the Rock and Roll Dice Roller app. Hey, Hannah, what you doing? You come to visit, huh? Where you been the last couple hours, huh? But anyway, I'm about 70 games into playing on that season, and I started it maybe about 4 weeks ago, I guess, 3 or 4 weeks ago. So I've been playing quite a few games a week on that. Yeah, probably over 10. Yeah, definitely over 10. I guess about 15. Anyway, I'd sent an invite out to Michael and Tim and Harris, and I don't think I did any other ones right now, but if somebody comes into chat and wants to come on, just let me know. Yeah, I'm just sitting here, and I can look at the sports page for a minute. It's kind of easy when you don't have an agenda. You can just talk out loud to yourself, kind of, and then if somebody's listening, That's fine. Oh, I'm gonna. Golf, I'm just kind of disappointed that the players are all divided with that LIV and PGA right now. I enjoy watching all the players together in those tournaments and stuff, and I don't know if that's something that's just not going to happen anymore. Let me drag that down so I can. Something I learned I could do recently with the tab at the top of my browser. I could just grab it and drag it down, and then it creates another window for it. Other people probably knowing how to do that for months or years. I just figured it out. Let's see, I get notifications all over the place. What was that? Hit a purple button, something or other. Heck if I know what that was. Facebook Messenger. Oh, Rob told me he's entering a drawing. He says he doesn't have a chance to win. Well, I probably wouldn't. Let's see. Man, you're snoring loud enough. Or snoring. Yeah. Purring. I'm just looking around on CBS Sports. Everything to know. 49ers Eagles. It would have been nice if they would have put some little bullet points or something with it, but it's like it's a lot of text. Their prediction here says Eagles 20, 49ers 17. I do think it'll be kind of low scoring. In fact, that seems about the score that if not exactly, the score I predicted on Rob's broadcast Tuesday night. 20-17. I think that might have been what I predicted. Pretty sure it was the 3-point difference in the Eagles' favor. And if it wasn't 20-17, it would have been something like 23-20. I think 20-17 is what it was. And then let's see, what are they predicting for the other game here? We got 5 people on CBS here picking the Eagles and 3 picking the 49ers. I don't know if that's with the points or not. And almost everybody taking the Bengals. Only one person took the Chiefs. Who are you taking, Hannah? Bengals? You always pick the Bengals. You never go against the Bengals. Or the Lions. Or the Jaguars, except when they play each other. Let's see. CBS. Find myself never out of the mood for baseball. That's going to be starting up again pretty soon. hope the Cubs can win at least, well, I'd say 500, but I don't know if they'll be quite good enough to be a 500 team this year. I think they could win maybe 75, though. I like their position players all right. I mean, it's not an overwhelming offense, but to me, they need a little more pitching. It's going to be a year or two before they get enough pitching. One name I think to look out for, though, if he ever gets called up for the Chicago Cubs, is Brennan Davis. He was hurt last year. They have him on the 40-man roster now. If they ever call him up, he could be a star, I think. Braves, Brian Snitker agreed a contract extension. The Mets extend Jeff McNeil. Looks like for 4 years, $50 million. Rays lock up Fairbanks. Pete Fairbanks. Tatis thinks he'll be fully healed for 2022 season. Yeah, that would be nice for the Padres. He's got that shoulder that keeps wanting to pop out. Astros hire Braves exec Dana Brown as GM. I didn't realize they hadn't filled that position yet. Oh, they found Terry Francona's scooter. I had heard somebody took it the other day. That was on one of those morning programs on MLB Network. Somebody had swiped it. When I played my next 1975 game, and somehow the game closed on me. It's going to be the Expos and the Cardinals. Oh, it didn't close. I just got to go to the right. Let's see, the right screen. There it is. Let me look at the 75 here. And it's Dave McNally going to be going for the Expos. And for the Cardinals, Bob Gibson. The only thing is, McNally and Gibson weren't nearly as good that year as they had been a few years earlier. McNally, 12 starts on ERA of 5.24. Here's my StreamYard thing go. I guess you can have like several different desktops or something. Okay. I've got this one opened in a different one than StreamYard. A second, I'm trying to get this game to close so I can open it on that other side. Okay. There. Now if I go and open the game up again. There we go. And there. So 1975, Expos, Dave McNally. Yeah, his 4 columns are not very good. And he's a lefty, so his 5 column against right-handers is not, right-handed hitters is not very good either. Gives up quite a few walks to right-handed batters. But he had 5.24 ERA, 12 starts, 77 innings. And again, St. Louis will have Bob Gibson. Oh, here's Tim.
Hey, what's up, Keith?
Gibson. I'm just on here rambling away.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just uploading a YouTube video right now. I filmed start 33 of the McCormick replay, and needless to say, thank God I went back and checked all the stats.
What happened?
I missed one of his wins and gave him one too many losses.
Oh, okay.
So, and essentially, I also found an extra earned run he gave up.
Oh, well, that wasn't good news for him, was it?
No, well,
so you have his ERA and stuff?
ERA was a little off. The strikeouts were about the only thing that was right.
Okay.
So, I also addressed the Tony Porter situation where I didn't call him out by name. I just said one of our viewers has said this so I moved the thing with the score from the upper corner to right by where the pitcher's mound is.
Okay.
And then I also I had a monitor that was sitting here for no reason. I had a regular PC and it had been used for like 5 years. So I finally removed that, and I moved the desk lamp more towards the center. So now it's like shining right above the cards.
Yeah.
So if that doesn't fix your lighting situation to your likeness, too freaking bad.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Overall, they kept the dice on the table more. So I felt like I had more room. I only had it fall off the table once.
Yeah.
But maybe I need to invest in a dice tower. So what's going on with your we were going over some strat cards?
Well, I was just talking about the next game. I was going to be playing with the 75. It's going to be the and we're live here. It's going to be the Expos and Cardinals. Their opening day game. McNally for the Expos. He didn't have very good numbers that year. I don't know what his age was in 75, but his ERA was north of 5. He only started about 12 games. And then Bob Gibson, who by 75 was getting kind of long in the tooth for the Cardinals. His ERA was 5.04.
Dave McNally?
Starts. Gibson walked 2 more guys and he struck out that year.
Yeah, that's McNally's final year. He would have been 32. Yeah, only 32.
Yeah, that had to be close to Gibson's last year too, huh?
Let's see here.
Or did he go to like 78 or something like that?
Bob Gibson, no, that's Gibson's last year too. 75.
Yeah,
he went 3-10.
Well, I guess it's kind of fitting that they get to go head to head at least once. Last year. I mean,
yeah,
McNally was pretty good.
McNally was a better hitting pitcher than people might realize. In fact, He had a home run in the '69 World Series against the Mets.
And they still lost.
Yeah,
Series.
that's
How many
that's
games did that one go? 6 or something?
I think it went 6. Yeah.
The Mets didn't have much of an offense really that year, but their pitching was pretty darn good.
Right. Well, I mean, Don Clendenin had the series of all series. They lost in 5. The Orioles did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of games were close. Actually, yeah, because they won game 2-1. Sorry, the Orioles lost game 2-1, and then they lost game 4 2-1 in 10 innings. So this could have been a completely different series because Baltimore won game 1, which I didn't realize, and then the Gentry and the Mets overpowered them in game 3.
Yeah, they won 4 in a row after that game 1.
Let's see here. And Clendenin was your MVP, went 4 for 14 with 3 home runs. Or sorry, 5 for 14 with 3 home runs.
Didn't Ron Swoboda make a really good catch or something?
Tremendous catch. But what people don't realize is that I believe a run scored on that play.
Yeah.
Like, he prevented like 3 runs or 2 runs from scoring.
Yeah.
So it's a great catch. He's essentially dived toward the line and made a tremendous catch.
Otherwise, that's down in the corner, and Swoboda's probably got a triple. Or I mean, the batter probably got a triple against
Let's
Swoboda.
see who actually hit that.
Not an inside the park home run.
Right. Let's see here. Because I believe that's game 4 where he has that.
One of those, that 2-1 extra inning game. So that would have been the only run the Orioles scored in that game.
Right. It was hit by Brooks Robinson. It was the top of the 9th. So let me confirm that that's the play, and I'll make sure I keep this on mute so I don't get you a YouTube strike.
So that tied the game?
Yes.
Yeah, because otherwise, he doesn't make that catch. The series is tied 2-2 probably, and then
let's see here. Okay, I have it on mute. Yeah. And maybe it wasn't towards the line. My memory's a little fuzzy on that. Okay, let's get where he gets the. Okay. Yeah, it was Brooks Robinson was hitting. He's actually dove in a little bit. Yeah.
So it'd been a disaster had he not caught the ball.
Right. Robinson would have been on second with. Let's see how many outs there were. Probably would have been 1 out, or probably with nobody out or 1 out. Let's see here. So there would have been. There was runners on first and second on that play. So you're talking second and third with 1 out potentially, or the Mets, or he might have scored from first, and that would have been Frank Robinson. He was a statue, Robinson was on third. Boog Powell, he was a statue, so he wouldn't have scored.
Yeah.
So. But yeah,
Boog Powell had a big upper body and a big neck and everything, didn't he?
Yes.
And wasn't he an outfielder initially? Before he moved to first base?
He could have been, but I don't think so. Let's see. And the funny thing is, there have been 2 Boog Powells to play in Major League Baseball.
Oh, yeah? I don't remember the other
one played in, Jester had it in his 2013, whatever season the other one played. Powell was a left fielder. Let's see his fielding stats here.
I thought he had been an outfielder before they put him at first.
Yeah, for the first 2 seasons, actually up until 65, they had him at he kind of platooned either first base or left field. And then after 66, they just put him at first base.
Mhm.
Let's see, Powell's 75 stats. He was almost towards the end of his career, too. That was his first year in Cleveland. He was 297 with 27 homers and 86 RBIs. So that's not a terrible card.
Mm-hmm.
But
And that was the year that Hank Aaron was with the Brewers, right?
yeah, it was a year after he had hit the 715, because that was in 74.
And I think he only hit like, I don't know, 214 or 215, somewhere around there.
He was at 75, he had 234.
Oh, okay. Well, it's better than I remembered seeing.
Yeah.
I might be thinking of Killebrew when he was the DH for the Royals. That was in
realize that he
73.
played. Yay.
Huh?
Yeah. His last, and that's 75 Killebrew's last season. He was $1.99.
Yeah, I think he hit like 215 or something for the Royals in 1973.
Now he was still with still with Minnesota in 73.
Oh, okay.
He did to 242.
Okay.
Yeah, his production, his last 3 seasons was awful. He might have been injured in 73, only played 69 games.
Well, how old was he those last 3 years?
Okay, so in 73, he'd have been 37 or 36 and 36 or 37. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in 67, he was the one that matched Yastrzemski in home runs, right?
Yes. 44 home runs. Yeah, he had a few good years there.
Now, was that still the last Triple Crown?
Oh, Miguel Cabrera.
Okay.
Had a Triple Crown.
But the one that Yastrzemski had, there was a tie in one of the categories for that home run.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so I can't believe it's already almost 3:45 here in the East. I've been running to get up till about 10 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, oh boy, what do I do? So finished up the Phillies roster. So I've got all the rosters set for the final games. The Mets in 67 sure took advantage of that 40-man roster. So I had to cut out a whole bunch of cards for them. And I have Tug McGraw start. Tug McGraw starts this game and I've already replayed it. What I had. Go ahead, finish.
Oh, you'd never know that the Mets were 2 years removed from winning a World Series. That season.
From winning World Series. Yeah. Hold on a second. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, they got lucky. The Mets the Cubs kind of collapsed a little bit, and then
yeah.
Let's see here. Blue.
You know, the pennant race in the American League was really close for those 4 teams. I don't know. I know Horland and Peters did a great job pitching for the White Sox, but with that pathetic offense they had, I just don't know how they hung with the Red Sox and the Twins and the Tigers.
Yeah, I don't know either. The first time I played this was the second time I've played this start. The first time, the Giants won 7-0. So let's see if the Mets can actually get a run this game. Like I said, you have Amos Otis leading off, Bob Heisey batting second, Tommy Davis batting third, Ron Swoboda batting fourth, Jerry Buchik batting fifth, Cleon Jones batting sixth, Ed Charles batting seventh, Greg Goosen batting eighth, and McGraw batting ninth. That's the lineup for the Mets coming up. So they were definitely trying out some people. It's a shame that Otis probably did he get traded or did he go to the Royals in the expansion draft?
I don't know.
Let's look up this.
How did Tommy Agee become a Met from the White Sox?
Let's get Otis. He went to, so Otis technically does have a ring with the Mets. He was with them in '69 for 48 games, and then went to the Royals in '70.
Oh, okay.
Let's see how that happened. What happened there? Did he get traded or did he just leave? Traded in December of '69 with Bob Johnson for Joe Foy. So I think they might have realized they had some better talent. Now who did you want me to look up?
Tommy Agee, when he went from the White Sox to the Mets, I don't think that there was any other team in between, but
Well, he started with the Indians.
Yeah. He was with the White Sox in '67, I know, but
right, and then came to the Mets in '68. Let's see here for his transactions. Traded with Al Weiss to the Mets for Buddy Booker, Tommy Davis, Jack Fisher, and Billy Wynn. So Fisher and Wynn were hitters. I guess Davis had to be the good throw-in to get Agee. But Davis has a +4 arm. And Goosen has a +3 arm. So I may do a little running because I have not stolen one base in this replay. I don't think I've even attempted one. Because they're all either C, like Mays is a C stealer, everybody else is either a D or an E stealer.
It just wasn't their thing, huh?
No, they were definitely the Earl Weaver style of hit the three-run homer, or maybe they hit and run a lot, and their steals came from missed hit and runs, and they somehow got to second base. But no,
their middle infield was pretty good defensively, but they weren't really that great at the plate, right?
No, Fuentes and Lanier.
Yeah, Fuentes and Lanier.
King Torn Gaming. Hey, what's up, Dave?
I'll send him an invite.
Yeah, I didn't realize that I actually have all the transactions for all the National League teams. At least for when they acquired players or lost players. So that's the next big project that needs to happen. There has to be something where you have who was on the active roster on that date, and that needs to be made public.
Yeah, I wish they'd do that on Baseball Reference, kind of just give you off to the side what their roster was. You can look at their transactions, but I don't know if that's going to tell you everything. Like a minor league call-up and...
Right.
Maybe you should have an invite coming to you.
The last 3 or 4 years, you can get that on the MLB app. In fact, I think you could have done it in like 2016, but then they realized that too many people were using it for free, and they realized they could get money for it. So they made it a paywall instead of a free thing. I was like, damn it. So I can use 2007 for the Indians transaction, so I can follow that at least to the letter of the law. But yeah, I'm that guy, and there's people that, hey, if I don't, there was one guy I found out he got recommended to me. Also is replaying this. He did this about a week ago. I don't remember the guy's name.
McCormick?
He didn't get the extra players. Not one of our community. Somebody else that got recommended to me. He didn't have the extra players, so he didn't have Kyle Schwarber or Chris Coghlan that were in the starting lineup for Game 1 of the World Series. So he kind of just made do. Like, okay, I definitely did that for the Indians replay in '71 when I didn't have Gomer Hodge for the majority of it. So
yeah,
I almost want to go back and replay some of the games that I didn't have it, but maybe just as if I would have had the entire line, if I had the real lineup, what would have happened?
Yeah, the thing with like Schwarber, that was the 16 season.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't really have any stats hardly for the regular season, just a few, and his postseason would not have been reflected well with that card. I mean, it would have.
Yeah, they did give him one.
Size was so small.
Right. And they put on the little sheet of paper, it says, please only use for postseason in your replays. So they do not want people using him for a like a full season kind of pick 'em league.
Yeah.
I don't know enough people that that are in my area, or B, that we could get online at one time to play Stratomatic. Like they get enough people to kind of like what Beatles is doing with the McGreevy League is incredible. That he gets the two people from that day to get on at a certain time.
Yeah.
And granted, it's a little quicker with a PC than it is,
Oh, here's Dave.
Hi,
Did you
fellas.
see? Hey, Dave. Good morning.
Morning.
Or afternoon. I'm sorry. It feels like
Afternoon.
morning still.
Yeah, it's after 3 o'clock here.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
almost 3 o'clock here. Speaking
you guys
of,
doing?
well, Stratomatic, did you see that they're going to print their cards on a thicker stock?
No, I didn't.
Stock?
That's nice,
That's on their
Starting-
website.
isn't it?
But this year they're
starting-
going to have.
Now, is it
Heavy
just for the
card
22 season, or is it for every season going backwards?
I don't know, but it says so. I think it's just for the current one or the new one.
So they probably still have it where they have a bunch of them. They print it off and they realized, oh, we're kind of getting, being basted by the community about the way our cards are. Dave, how are you?
I'm okay, guys. Just woke up from a nap and noticed you were on, Keith, so I figured I'd come on if it was all right and see how you guys are doing. I was wondering about Rob. I've been watching, doing this fantasy baseball thing, trying to get 70 hitters and 30 pitchers. So I've been watching. What I started doing was I started watching the 2019 All-Star game, and then I would look up the players to see if they still played in 22 and what they did and so on and so forth. And that gave me a pretty good jump start, So now I'm on the 2022 All-Star game. I got a pretty good list, so I'm going pretty good there. Just wanted to mention that. Other than that, I got to do a game on my channel later on and get ready for football tomorrow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what it says on Stratomatic.com. As always, the new cards for the latest season 2022 headline the product list. This time, the set is being printed on heavier card stock while pandemic era paper supply lasts to satisfy persistent customer requests.
Yep.
Once they run low on paper, then they're not going to do it anymore.
Right. I mean, they look better. I wish they would make the app cards kind of look like. Let's see if I can get this in a. Yeah. Okay, that's better. Make it kind of look like that, but nope. It's like green or something, and yeah.
Really? Yeah, I noticed all
Card
that.
Viewer app?
Yeah.
What's that?
The Card Viewer app?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, they're not the same color?
Let's
No.
see here. Let me pull up what it would look like on the. This is me taking a screenshot of it. I guess it kind of does, but yeah, I guess it does look the same. Except mine has the thing where it cuts off on the bottom corner, so it's not really square.
Yeah, you can only look at one side at a time, can't you?
Well,
It's
they
not so
only have.
different.
No, I guess not. So
No, that's what they look like. They're just going to be thicker stock, huh?
for
So
at least
thicker
the
stock-
current season.
Really?
I mean, yeah, but would a thicker stock really drive up the price all that much?
Probably would.
You're probably right, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt that they're feeling it. That they probably got saying, "Hey, you got all
Well, I
the rest of these
remember that was something that IDJ complained about a lot, was because he was comparing it to payoff
inside
pitch.
pitch." Yeah, payoff.
He's like,
pitch,
look at this. He was kind of shaking it, and you could hear it kind of.
Yeah.
the air current would kind of bend it.
Right. Yeah. And and don't leave your card sitting on. If the card falls to the ground, don't move your chair, or else if you run it over, your card's going to be ruined.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I haven't pulled out the actual cards in a while, but yeah, you're right. They wouldn't hold up well at all. It's gonna be destroyed.
Like, and the thing is, you got to be real. Like, make sure you only grab around the corners because after 162 games, the oils from your hands will kind of start,
Make 'em
you know,
slick.
like
Yeah.
say, hold on.
Smear it and fade it. And
Let's see if I can pull up my McCormick
Yeah.
card for. Yeah, so here's my McCormick card and how it looks. Get it over outside the light. So I guess that's not too bad. The one corner is kind of getting a little frayed.
yeah.
Yeah,
And,
I see that. Yeah, he's been used a lot.
Yeah.
What was his record? On your replay, what was his record?
Okay.
I mean, compared to real life,
Well, I just actually uploaded a game, and funny enough,
you don't want to really say. You don't have to say if you don't want.
I will say this: do not pay attention to the record that I've been giving at the end of the videos.
Okay.
Because I went back and redid the stats, and I found out that I didn't give him a win that I should have.
Oh, I see.
And then I gave him one extra loss that I shouldn't have given him.
Okay.
You can probably do the math if somebody would go through and run through all of them. I'll try to make sure I get these all on a playlist.
Okay.
Along with my other videos. Needless to say,
I notice I have a bad habit of that too, where you get all kinds of videos and you forget to put them in a playlist, and you just keep going on and on and on. You know,
well, one of it is that it makes it easier if I do another project after this. And so, by the way, your McCormick videos, like
just stick them in a playlist. There you go. It's easy to add them all up and put them in there too.
And, it's right there. So. He'll be real if he wins the final two starts. He'll be kind of close in wins for what he would have done in starts. I'll have to see his. I'll say this: his max innings will be 258. I don't think he had that many. Then again, I'm not very quick on the hook. I guess we'll say a lot of these. If he gave up 4 runs in 5 innings and it was his spot in the order, they took him out.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I will say this: I am not the best. There's like, well, why don't you be a manager, Tim? You're smart about baseball. I can't make a lineup to save my life.
I'm an old traditional lineup guy. I don't use the new. Yeah,
speed at the top.
I'm the one. I look at the speed to see who's the best. My best runner and base percentage guy. I try to find a bunter if I can find a bunter for second. And third is my best pure hitter, like a Don Mattingly type guy, and then my home run guy, and then my second best power hitter would be fifth, right?
Yep.
That's how a traditional lineup pretty much works. And
yeah,
you got 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th.
Try to get your on base guys up near the front, especially if they got some speed.
Yeah, if you got a guy with a good eye, gets a lot of walks, and he steals bases, you get his ass on. You get his ass.
Now, Tim, you don't use the super advanced like for the clutch rating and all that kind of thing.
No, not. The only super advanced thing I use is for base running.
Yeah, I think the idea
was at least for the ground ball advance. That's the only thing I use.
Yeah, the super advanced like for clutch hitting, they want you to. That's a thing to try to get you to, like, if you're making your own lineups, you might be persuaded to not put your bad clutch hitters like in the middle of your lineup. You'd want to either put them high or low because they're not going to be. Typically, they're guys that can hit pretty well but didn't drive in a lot of runs. So they're going to try to get you to put them in a spot in your lineup.
If I can find
hitting with 2 outs and 8 runners in scoring position.
Yeah, Clemente does not have a clutch thing for 67. Let's see if anybody does. Okay, Gene Alley has a negative clutch.
Yes, that's
on a 3-3 roll. So,
Wayne, I don't know if you heard me. I did send you an invite if you get it.
Oh, who is that?
Wayne. I did send him an invite. I just want to make sure.
March, that's cool. He's a cool dude. We're all cool dudes.
Well, yeah. So I mean, like I said, I may film. I'm almost thinking about filming the next two back to back and then just uploading whenever. Now that I
Yeah.
can transfer the videos from my phone to my computer, I'm not waiting for my phone to fully upload.
Right.
I can, do that. And I think I also found my thumbnail that I'm going to use for the 2007 Indians. It's them celebrating on the field after they won the division title. So it's always weird that if you use a Getty image, we're not selling anything, so they're probably not going to be upset for using a 16-year-old picture. But as long as you're not making money, if you're going to now use it for making money or you're going to, doing that, then definitely I would say credit your source.
If you were gonna, let's say I got that for History Maker Baseball, I got the first set of the Fall Classic teams, and then I got the '69 season. So I've got the '69 Mets and Orioles available. But if I were to take like 6 to 8 teams, and I'll tell you that it was the 47. There's Dwayne. 47 Yankees and Dodgers are in that. Hi, Dwayne.
Hey guys.
Hi, Dwayne.
54
Hey, Dave.
Giants
How you doing, bud?
Indians,
Good.
and you know how good the
Good,
Indians were that year. You got the 65 Dodgers and Twins. Koufax would have been amazing. 68 Cardinals and the Tigers, and you'd have McLean and you have Gibson, who had that incredible 1.12. You got Seaver and that Orioles pitching staff from '69. You got
That's a fun little
71
tournament you could do.
Pirates and 71 Orioles, which they had at 420 game winners.
Right.
And then you got the 72 Reds and A's. Now, if I were going to take 6, and I left out the 85 and 86 teams, but I would want teams that, didn't have the DH, because then you got to start trying to make adjustments.
Well, then you're leaving off. Now, when did they start using the DH in the World Series?
73. Well, I don't know. In the World Series, it was later than that. World Series, it was probably.
It was every other year.
Yeah. Well, it's probably like 76 or 77 or somewhere around where they started using it.
Right.
But
I think the pitchers batted in 75.
I think they did like 73, 74, and 75, if I recall correctly. And maybe 76 as well. And then they started to alternate it to where the team that had the home field advantage played by the other league's rules. I think it was kind of the advantage of both. Which that kind of hurts the Red Sox in '75 because they didn't have Jim Rice available to them, really, did they? Or who was their DH?
Well, Rice was hurt, wasn't he?
He might have been. But they had Lynn Yastrzemski and Dewey in the outfield.
73 is when they first started using it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in the regular season.
I got good news for you.
76 is when they used it in the World Series.
Okay.
Okay. One of your least favorite Braves managers will be coming up in the McCormick finale. Bobby Wine.
Bobby Wine, huh?
Yeah, we went over we've kind of been over when they
Yeah.
fired Joe Torre. The managers before they rehired Bobby Cox.
Right.
One of them was Bobby Wine, and he was a shortstop for the Phillies.
So did they figure out who took Terry Francona's scooter? I heard they found it.
It was like some guy who wanted a ride somewhere, and it must have been on the street or visible to him, so he just took it.
Was it a Segway or regular some kind of was it a Segway?
No, it was a sit down.
No, not a Segway. It's a
sit down scooter. Yeah.
What's the big scooter name? Not Segway. Hold on.
When did this happen?
A couple days
A week ago?
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's like a Vespa.
Oh.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, that kind of scooter, not like a. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
like
a motorized one, not a
motorized.
cruising one. So
It figures.
But yeah. So what do you got going on today, Dwayne?
I got a darn cold, Tim. That's why I haven't been on. I want to get some 1992 races in. But yeah.
Hope you feel better. Hope you feel better, Dwayne.
Yeah, darn
cold sucks.
runny nose. All the
Yeah,
good
that
stuff.
sucks.
The weather been changing a lot there in Maryland?
I mean, today it's in the 50s. 55
Yeah.
degrees here today.
It's been
Yeah.
snowing.
Yeah.
It's
Where's
snowing
that,
out.
Dave?
17 degrees, Iowa.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Waterloo,
Yeah.
Iowa. Yeah. Yep.
I
Finally-
hope you're not getting that. That'll probably hit the south of us for Ohio.
No, it's accumulation.
How
Yeah.
much?
About 4 to 6 inches, I guess they said it was accumulating.
No.
It's going to go on till 9 o'clock tonight, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the biggest storm of the year, really, and we haven't hardly had any snow. It's been really light, and I'll tell you, most of our winter was in the 40s, and
Yeah.
then lately it's dropped down to like the 20s and less. You know,
Uh-huh.
so
Oh,
weird, man.
The problem that everybody forgets is that winter really doesn't start. Granted, it starts at the end of December.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like Christmas
what it
is the
seems
fourth
like.
day of winter.
Yeah.
yeah,
So-
I know.
You're probably
Yeah,
not
yeah.
going to hit winter full force until probably mid-January.
Right. And that's
My
basically-
feeling
that's what
around
hap-
here is once you make it through February, I don't care. February.
That's
Yeah,
what I say, too.
exactly.
Once I get to spring
soon as-
training, I'm all set.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
March,
exactly.
we still get snow around here in March, but it don't last long. It melts quick.
Don't accumulate. Yeah.
Once the
cool.
sun goes down at 6 o'clock, I'm ready for spring,
Yeah.
I hear
which
you.
will be either might be in a couple weeks that we'll get that. I'm like, back
Yeah.
when it was always so when if I stayed to work until 6, the sun would still be out. But
Right.
now I'm legitimately starting to think about working from home until we get back into our main office.
I
Oh,
do.
you're still not there.
Well, they had the big flash freeze and right before Christmas, and because they didn't have enough occupants in the building to run water through the pipes burst,
Yeah.
and somehow our floors got affected the most. Now, some of the other smaller offices like the IRS and Social Security have come back, but somehow ours is, and we're starting to get a little restless and thinking, are you sure that they are not telling us that this could be working and they just want us over here because we don't have that many people and you can stick us over in this building and try to save some money on rent?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say it publicly. I guess this video will be public, but I'm not saying that that's the case.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
after next week will be a month that we'll be out there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so a lot of us are kind of wondering, and we wouldn't be too upset if the bus schedule would run a little more frequently and it didn't disrupt as much as it does. But when you don't have, when the latest bus runs from the terminal tower at 10 after 8, and then it doesn't start picking up again until 4 o'clock, that means if you want to work 6 to 2:30, you might get something out there by 6 o'clock, but you ain't gonna get nothing back until 4.
Darn.
So now they might use a shuttle, government vehicle to take you back to the building, and you can catch one of the other buses to get you back to where you need to go.
Yeah.
Like that's like they're turning some of the people that were doing building work into essentially shuttle drivers. A lot of them are, I guess, aren't real jazzed about that.
Yeah.
Oh, so.
What you got coming on your channel, Keith? Anything?
Hi.
Well, I was just so
I just-
far.
I
got
just wonder if you could be
the
a nice water.
plan, but I didn't. I still got to get going back on that.
Thank you, dear.
And,
I'm sorry, Bobby. I know you're
I've
studying.
seen McNally of Montreal in his last year
Mm-hmm.
against Bob Gibson and the Cardinals in his last year. So that's the opening day matchup.
Yeah. Cool.
Neither one of them had that great of a year, but
Yeah.
still two very familiar names.
Right. You want to do anything besides baseball?
Oh, sure. Eventually,
Yeah.
I'll get to something
Yeah.
else. Just kind of make it up as I go.
Yeah.
But with that history maker, I was thinking maybe the 65, 68, and 69 teams or something. Those
That'd be nice. That
series.
Oh,
sounds
you got
good.
these years.
Yeah, because you could have Koufax and his.
I think I only had the Boston Red Sox and some other team. I got to buy some seasons for that.
That's one game I don't have.
And
I
the
don't
Reds.
have History Maker baseball.
Oh, it's really fun. It's really fun.
I don't have the second season football either. I got the Cold Snap football.
Yeah. Second season I have, it's got the short. They have a long way. You can play it a long way or a short way. I like to play it the short way. It's really fun.
How are you doing?
I need to get that lacrosse one. I've got that not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before, and never gotten into one. So, I bought that because my daughter played lacrosse. Thought it'd be something we could do together, and we haven't even gotten it out of the box yet.
How long does it take to play a game of that? Does anybody know?
Of
I
lacrosse?
haven't played lacrosse.
Yeah, lacrosse blast.
I assume about 35 to 45 minutes if you get it down.
Kind of like the soccer game, or
Yeah.
It's just
Only
gonna
the
have
thing is,
piles.
I didn't realize when I bought it that it's more of the game itself is more of the indoor game. They got people that came up with rules for outside because I got a bunch of free downloads for college
I did.
teams. Not every college team. But
Larry,
a
I
lot of
sent you
them.
an invite. I'm sorry, Dwayne. Say that again.
I didn't realize the game was mainly for indoor lacrosse, and I got a bunch of teams like college, but you need separate rules for that they came up with.
So
Because
indoor, then the
I
ball.
was looking
plays
at
off
the events
glass
on there, and you
stuff,
had
like
fights and
the
stuff.
indoor
And you never
soccer?
see a fight. What's that?
The ball would play off the glass like with indoor soccer.
Yeah, like saying you got fights like hockey in there. No, and I'm thinking you never see a fight in college lacrosse. I'm like, what the heck? And then I realized that it was set up different. So that's some of the things that changes in the outdoor game. Instead of fights, you'll have different penalties and stuff like that.
Yeah. About the only
Around this
time I ever
area,
watched,
lacrosse is big. I mean, you got John Hopkins, you got Maryland, you got Towson. There are a lot of good
Loyola.
colleges in lacrosse. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot northeast, Mason-Dixon line area,
Yeah.
and maybe like Ohio State's been okay a couple times, but
There's
not much.
There's a college out in Denver that's real good, and that amazes me.
What are you allowed? What are you allowed to do with your racket in lacrosse? Are you defensively?
And men's, you're allowed to whack pretty good. Women, you're not allowed to too much, but men, you're allowed to get a lot more physical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can push. I think you can use as long as you hit the stick part, you're okay. You hit the
knock
hands.
ball out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the lot of it is that. Go ahead.
These guys wear like armor. I mean, what do they wear? What's their uniform look like? I'm not familiar with lacrosse. I know.
Gloves.
Got a mask on here over here, but what about your legs?
Women
Yeah,
ain't
they're
required to
coming
wear
for it.
helmets because, like I say, it's not supposed to be as near as physical, supposedly.
A lot of it, you're not going for the legs.
Yeah.
So those are no padding there.
Right.
Okay.
So essentially, you're not trying to get in the way of the ball because they're not aiming low. They're aiming a little higher.
I see. Okay.
And are
If
you
you aim
allowed
low,
to
then
run
you
as
get
far
your
as you
stick
want with the ball?
What's that?
Are you allowed to run as much as you want with the ball when you?
Yeah. Now they got shot clocks in college because they're starting to do the 4 corners type offense, and once you got a lead, not playing, so they put a shot clock in lacrosse now too. Yeah. So but if you want to, you can carry the ball the whole way up and down the playing field. You don't have to pass it.
But isn't there like a restriction on some players that can't be in the offensive zone?
What's that?
Some of the long sticks, I think can't be in the offensive zone. Like you'll see them like bring it across.
Defenders aren't allowed to cross the right. You got 2 defenders that ain't supposed to cross midfield. Yeah.
Okay. That's sort of it shows you how limited my lacrosse knowledge.
You got midfielders and attackers, and then defensemen. Yeah.
And those are the
similar
ones that usually have the longer
similar
sticks.
to soccer.
Yeah. And you can only have so many the quote unquote long sticks playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't realize how many. I don't know how many, but even the longer sticks, you don't want the longer sticks if you're trying to be an attacker because it takes too long to.
Yeah, you
Get
can't
through.
control the ball as good. Yeah.
Right. And then
I mean,
the
some of these
gold
guys
sticks
and
are
girls
about
are so accurate with passing.
yay
It's
wide.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that ball's right where it's supposed to be. They don't have to move the damn stick at all. It's amazing how accurate they can pass. Yeah.
Wow.
That's how many years of practice to
Yeah.
get that route. You know,
Yeah.
they got rich parents that probably send them to camps and
Yep.
all that other stuff. So
Yeah, my daughter didn't get involved until she was a freshman in high school.
okay. Yeah, my alma mater doesn't have lacrosse. In fact, the year before I got there, they had finally gotten hockey.
Oh, really?
They didn't get until
Really?
'96. Yeah. Funny, Nationwide Arena has the jerseys of all the schools in Ohio that play hockey, and it's probably grown a lot since. Oh God, back in my day, it was only maybe had a couple teams up in Cleveland that played in the '80s and early '90s. In fact, let me see where Mike. So, if anybody knows Mike Rupp that played for the Devils and the Rangers and the Blue Jackets, let's see what he's a Cleveland area guy.
Really?
Yeah. I think he went to St. Ignatius or St. Ed's, which is near me, and that's one of the big parochial schools up here. More known for football than for. I guess they're more known for football, but hockey is like number 2.
When they built a skating rink around here, they have a club, but not really affiliated with the school. Yeah. With hockey, there's no real officiated school stuff. Like I said, they came up with the Hagerstown Club team of high school players, but yeah.
Not anything where it's official or it's just a
no, it's not sanctioned by the county or the state. Yeah, where you have standings and you have leagues and all that. Yeah,
That's not a game that they'd ever allow the prisoners to play is lacrosse. That's too much of a weapon.
they
Or hockey.
I mean, they play baseball and they play football and all. I mean, if they wanted it, yeah, they'd let them play it. I mean, they're out there with bats and all. Ain't no different. Yeah.
That'd make a good story, you know, like the longest yard, but except with lacrosse.
Yeah, like I said. they don't play they don't play tackle football, but they might as well. I mean, it's pretty
Right.
rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no
I
tackle
like
football.
when they
It's
put
all
that guy.
flag.
When they
Do
put
all of them
estrogen in
get
his,
searched to make sure that there's not a
steroids.
shank out there for
Yeah.
water
Well, they
playing?
get patted down, but that don't mean nothing. Yeah. But most of the time, they're not going to screw that up because then it gets shut down. You know what I'm
They could
saying?
have one. They could have one into the dirt somewhere out there. You know.
Yeah.
Pull out.
Yeah. But yeah, like I say, they're not messing that stuff up. Now, I'm not saying they don't get in fights and stuff just like anybody does, but yeah, you don't go out there and thinking I'll join the football team to stab a bunch of people up.
Right. Especially you have to be good standing in order to even get out there, and then
Right. Yeah, like I say, stuff like that, they're not trying to screw it up because that's what would happen. They just shut it down.
then they go back doing laundry, and I'm sure half of them don't want to do that.
Well, they don't do their own laundry. They got laundry men. They got inmates that does laundry for the whole tier. Yeah. That's a thankless job.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
For
those-
flag football, have it where instead of pulling a flag, they're trying to pull a pin from a grenade out. You know?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
No, he didn't
So,
get
yeah,
the
there's a Super Nintendo game called Mutant League Football. I wouldn't doubt that might have been one of the things that they might have tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a
They're like, you only have a certain number of players per game, and once you get below a certain number, forfeit. Seriously, that's how that goes.
Yeah.
They had a mutant league hockey too, I think, where you could have a chainsaw out there and
They did have a Mutant League hockey. Yep. I'm watching Houston and Cincinnati play basketball on CBS says Houston's up by 3, but Cincinnati was up probably because they played the perfect first half, and we're up by a good
Really?
number. But about minute and a half to go.
I assume Huggins is retired by now. Huh?
No, he's at West Virginia still.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep,
That's
he's
great.
been
He's
there
been down there a few years.
a few years. Yeah.
Yeah.
High game. Yeah, Houston was undefeated until recently, and then they lost, or they only lost one. And they lost their second game recently. Yeah,
Better.
I've been trying to keep track of Anthony with this college football, but he hasn't gotten 2021 printed set out yet. I'm trying to order it all at one time instead of paying shipping twice.
I don't blame you there. That's a
Yeah.
tough game to try to release.
Yeah. I know he said he sent it off to be printed. I guess he hasn't gotten it back. He's gotten the game back because you can buy the printed game now. But I'm waiting for him to buy both of them at the same time, unless I emailed him and just told him to wait until both of them came in and shipped them at the same time. But I think if I order it separate, I think they're going to charge me shipping separate
Right.
because he doesn't deal with that. That's through that.
Or you get to see the
I
best part.
forget
of
who
the
runs
cat.
that site for him. That Sidelight Strategy. He doesn't really run the site.
No, it's
He's named the gentleman that takes care of that. I can't remember. It's whoever designed, I think, that payoff pitch. I think that's the one.
Chris.
Yeah, I don't know his name, Tim. But I think that's who has
That's
the
the-
website.
RJL mentions him a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd love to get like I'll have a whole stack of other games like in the wait, and if I can pull, but I'd rather just what I can play at this time and just go with it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be like having 10 projects at once. You know, I've got enough. I got, this and the 07, and who knows, I might get frustrated enough with that I'd go. I'm pretty sure my next project is going to be 72 Pirates and see if I can get Clemente enough hits to 3,000.
Yeah, you talked about that.
It's a nice
And I
one.
think I'm going to
Yeah.
do super advanced with weather effects.
Nice.
So,
That means wind. Well, with baseball, that means a lot of wind. I mean, you know,
well, no,
stuff
it's
like
they
that.
have.
I mean,
It's let me show you. Have you ever seen one of them? What they look like
no,
for weather effects?
no, I haven't.
Let's see. Okay. So here's 2015 for the National League. Hold on. Okay, so this is weather effects.
Okay, by
This is for
month.
2015. This is a season that I only have the All Stars for.
Oh.
So here's
It's got temperatures and all that.
There's-
And what's that
Yeah.
say? Well,
that's Baltimore for June. There's April, May, September, and October on your left. And
right.
then June, July, and August, and then day or night, and then you roll good, average, or bad, and then
Huh.
a lot of the singles are on the right there, and there's home runs depending on what you get.
Yeah,
So
Right,
you got to
right.
look up to
It's
see if
better
it's
for
a
the
day or
offense.
night game, and then
Sounds interesting, Tim. That's interesting. Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's not bad. So it's like
There's a little
Day
extra
night.
element of what you may or may not get. You know, an extra
And of
element
course,
of.
and I've never done it before, and I've
Yeah.
done
No.
2 super advanced seasons. I did 71. Actually, I might have done 3 super advanced seasons. Yeah, I did 67, 71, and 18 for super advanced.
You got
I
the
never did
PC
weather
version
effects.
too, Tim?
No, just
Just a
cards and
card
dice.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't show.
a team that plays
Hmm.
in a dome has the same, doesn't really get weather effects. It's the same all the time.
Let me see.
Yeah.
For now, 2015, they would have been. Although 2007, let's see if I have that.
Now for Houston, does it have like if the dome is open or closed?
I think they just they kind of average it per se.
Okay.
Okay, 2007. Okay. So here's 2007. The Minnesota Twins were weather. Okay. Yep, they do not have weather effects for Minnesota at home
Right, because they're in the dome back in.
because they're in the dome. Yep.
Yeah.
Now, Tim, you're doing the 2007 Indians, right? Now
Yes.
you're doing you play through the games just for the Indians, and then you
Yes.
do like
Well-
do you do like what RLJ does with his kind of ticker
I-
with like fast score or anything like
I
that?
don't
Or
use the replay sports one. I use Ronbo and his hyper fast scoring. Heads up, Larry.
Hey,
So I do
fast
use
scoring, that's
of that.
interesting. Okay, I haven't heard of that
So
one.
yeah,
I know there's Downey games that has ultra quick baseball. I was thinking of using that for something
You
like
could
that.
use
about
that
a
for-
project like that. Yeah.
That's essentially
'cause
the
it's
same
really
game
cheap
engine.
and yeah, interesting. Okay.
Oh, did Cincinnati tie this at the buzzer?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, they're checking to see if it was
It was
pass interference.
within a cylinder. It should have been goaltending. Offensive goal.
No, oh yeah, that should have been. I think you're right.
It's
Let's
within
see.
a cylinder there.
Let's see here.
Mhm. Yeah, it looked like it.
Yeah, yeah. Part of the ball's over the cylinder. That should be offensive goaltending.
Good game, though.
that's- Yeah, well, like I said, Houston was up or down early in the second half, and that would have been the tying basket for Houston, right? Or no, that's Cincinnati to put them
Right,
within two.
Hey, don't
Or
go.
tie the game. Yeah, Houston's arena looks kind of yeah. It's a college arena for sure.
How's everybody doing?
Good. And you like
Good, Larry. How are you, buddy?
Not
You
bad.
okay?
I work today, but
Good.
not bad.
Ugh.
Hey, Tim, it's kind of nice outside today. About 40
Good.
degrees.
About 40 degrees. Yeah, it ain't snowing, so that's good.
It's about 42 down here.
Okay, so yeah, they're showing because I'm closer to the lake, so it's going to be a little chillier. But
Yeah.
oh,
I've
like I
passed
said,
through
we're-
Cleveland several
we're bored.
times.
What's
I
that?
live. I was born in Connecticut, so I travel from Connecticut through Ohio, back and forth through Ohio and Pennsylvania.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been there quite a few times in Ohio in that area. Beautiful.
Yeah.
There. I love the mountains that you hit in Pennsylvania. And Ohio, I
Dave.
think, has some too, don't they?
No.
No,
No,
Not in
not seeing in
Ohio.
Pennsylvania, huh? Not in Pennsylvania, but then it drops off. You're like a flatland.
Yeah.
Our highest peak is just over 1,000 feet, called Campbell Hill.
Is that right? Is that right? Yeah.
Dave, I'm a half hour west of the Hall of Fame.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Tim, is there a Cleveland
That's
U?
cool.
Cleveland University?
Cleveland State.
Cleveland State
Cleveland
University.
Yeah. Started in 1964.
Wow.
Oh, not that long ago then.
No.
It'll be 60 years next year.
Yeah. They're more known for their law program. That's about it that I know of. Now,
This
You gotta
is
go
probably a
further.
stupid question, but it's not one I know the answer to. How did Cleveland become the site for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
because the DJ in Cleveland, Alan Freed, came up with the term rock and roll.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's see.
So they were now. Yet a lot of the early ceremonies were held in New York,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
but now they're all held in Cleveland, I believe, at the World Convention Center.
Uh-huh.
Never ran into. So they did call the offensive goaltending.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So now the Houston just has to get it in bounds for timeout. Yep. Okay. So yeah, essentially, they all come to Cleveland for a weekend, and no shenanigans happen because they're all old. And even Dr. Dre, when he got in, he was still in his 50s. He's like, I'm too old for this shit.
Tell them after the ceremony, we got a room full of drugs in the back there.
him and
I'll do a line.
I have
Yeah,
never been to the
usually-
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I've never been there either. I want to go there. My wife wants to go
The
there.
problem is
My
that
wife
they
wants to go
close
there.
at 5
go there.
o'clock.
Do they
every
really?
day.
5
Yeah.
o'clock. Huh? How about pizza out
Because I
there?
went
in
at
Cleveland?
like 4:45 one Saturday. We're thinking, oh, well, they're open till like 7 or 8. We'll have time to go through. Nope. 5 o'clock.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. We'll go early. We'll go
Because we went to
early
the
and see
Terminal
it.
Tower to see movie, which they don't have that theater anymore.
Oh, they close that up.
What's that?
They close that one up then.
Yeah, they closed Tower City Cinemas up like 2021, I think.
Oh, is that right?
Really?
Oh, the Cleveland film is not doing very well. In fact, they just closed a Regal Cinema down where I live. So now the closest theater I have is an AMC.
Right. Bless you.
So, and I have to go
Thank
out to Westlake to go to a Regal Cinema. Now,
How far is that?
see. About 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right. It's I'd say probably about 5 to 10 minutes away from Dave and Buster's. So, yeah. So
I think I'm going to get off here and take some medicine, guys. You all have a
All
good
All
right.
right.
All
Take
right.
You
care.
too, Dwayne. Have a good one. Hope you feel better,
You too.
buddy.
Thank you, man.
See you later. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, like I probably.
Where's
after
old Rob?
like,
Haven't heard
Rob's-
from him today, have we?
he's in probably heading to North Carolina.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
said
yeah.
he
Oh.
if we're gonna
What's he
I
doing
talked
down
to him
there?
a little bit on the
take a
phone
day
all
trip
the
out
time.
there,
Just a day trip out there. Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
or
That's
even
nice.
stay overnight and then come back on Sunday.
yeah, that's what they're gonna
Yeah,
do.
it's not too
That's
far
good.
for him.
No, not
Yeah,
too
it
far
could
for
be.
him. No.
Oh,
Ah,
I think it took him 4.5, 5 hours to get there.
yeah.
He
About the
said
time
his
it
dad
takes to get
fell
to-
this morning again though, and he had to go down there and help to get him up. And
Oh, what his dad?
yeah,
oh, jeez. Poor dad. Poor
Well,
dad.
he's 89. His dad's 89 years old. So
89 years old guy. Yeah, I know. I talked to my uncle today. He's 80. And he's old too. He says, I'm getting old, Dave. He says, I'm going to watch basketball today. I says, that's good. I have it on the TV too. I always have kind of sports on my TV. I told him,
I mean,
So it's a little
well,
fortunate.
next weekend the only thing you got is college basketball or pro
I
basketball.
know, yeah. Right. And pro
'Cause
basketball. I
hockey
love
and-
both.
Hockey's
Football.
on their All-Star break, and football's they got the Pro Bowl. Snooze.
Yeah. Yeah. Football's got that Pro Bowl. Yeah. With
Yeah, flag football.
the flag football.
Well,
all the-
Even when it was like
Uh.
not. No, okay. Even when it wasn't entertaining to begin with because they have all we go stay within this range if you're the linebackers. So you can't double
Yeah.
team and
Yeah. You can't
all
do
that
anything. Yeah.
garbage.
Actually, Tim, back in 1980, 81, 82, 83, it was good football back then, but they got away from it.
Yeah.
I do like the when they had the blue jerseys for the NFC and the white jerseys for the AFC. Those were nice.
yeah, I like that. Yeah,
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
And they all wore their helmets, the team helmets.
Yeah.
Team helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was interesting. Yeah. I like that.
Now, how are they going to differentiate unless they're going to wear their team uniforms for flag football?
They must have some kind of T-shirts, or I don't know. They're probably not gonna put pads on, are they? They're
Well,
pads.
they'll probably make a new T-shirts and buy these at NFLShop.com so they can make
Yeah.
another buck.
Right.
Which reminds me that
This year
At
it's in
some point,
Vegas.
they'll
Used to
do-
be in Hawaii. All the Pro Bowls would be in Hawaii, weren't they?
you want to
Now
know
it's
why it's not in
Vegas.
Hawaii,
Huh?
Dave? You want to know
What?
why it's not in Hawaii?
What? Why?
Aloha Stadium got condemned.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh boy,
Yeah.
imagine that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why?
because
Why
it-
did you-
structurally they couldn't keep with the upkeep.
Deteriorated?
Yeah,
Oh no. Oh boy.
so they've been.
And what about
playing
the
it-
Hawaii college football team? Where do they play?
They have their own.
They have
Yeah,
their
they
own
got
team.
their own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's upkept, I'm sure, or kept good.
They're
Yeah.
they're trying to build a new
A new
Complex.
venue. Yeah, the complex.
The
Interesting.
old
I didn't know
Hawaii
that, guys.
Rainbow.
Yeah.
Yep. And then finally they realized that probably wasn't the best, especially the logo with the actual rainbow was not
I
probably
know.
the best to use.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, oh, if you call it the rainbow is fine, then you might want to come up with a different logo. But
Yep.
I would almost just have like an R with like the colors of the rainbow in the R. That might have
cool.
that probably could have worked.
Kind of cool. Yeah.
But now
Good.
now you'll get the you can't do that. That's gay pride.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, it
right.
takes away from pride. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
they're on
God.
your ass about that. Oh, boy.
Offensive and yeah.
Houston wins by 6 points. That was a good game.
Yep.
Let's see what's golf is coming up next. That is let's see what tournament this is.
So Keith,
This is
who's your next game, Keith?
Huh?
Who's your next game? 75.
Montreal is at St. Louis.
Oh yeah.
Dave McNally against Bob Gibson.
Oh, I'll go good.
Turn back the clock day.
Yeah. Last
Yeah.
season for both. Tim and I
Really?
were talking about that a little
I
earlier.
didn't realize
He
that.
looked it up.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
75.
You want to know like the other people whose last seasons were in 75?
Sure.
Retro Sheet has a nice thing where you can pull up like their who debuted and who was their last games.
Yeah, that's fair.
Wow.
Let's see, last games. And they go by alphabetical order. So I think Glenn Beckert for the Cubs
Becker.
was with
Okay.
the Padres. Ed Brinkman was with the Tigers, right?
Who?
Yeah.
Ed Brinkman.
Senator for a
Oh, okay,
while.
yep.
Gates Brown, also a Tiger, was his last year.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Hey,
Tony
left-handed.
Conigliaro was his last season.
Okay.
So,
He's the one that got hit in the head, right?
no, that's his brother.
Billy got hit.
No, that was Tony. That's right.
That's Tony. Yeah.
Yeah, that's his
That
last
was in
season.
Yeah,
'67.
I think so.
Yes.
I think so, Keith.
And was that
Yeah.
the reason they went and got Bud Harrelson?
Probably. Yeah,
Or not
Bob
Bud
Gibson's
Harrelson. I'm
last.
sorry. Ken Harrelson.
Ken Harrelson,
Oh,
yeah,
Ken Harrelson.
Ken Hawk Harrelson.
right. Possibly, or they traded him to get somebody else.
Yep.
Yeah, Gibson.
Oh, Al Red Sox fan would know.
Oh, he definitely would know.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah.
Kilber's last year was in 75.
Was it with
Gene
the Angels?
Lamont's last year was in 75.
Hold on.
Mm.
Who was that you just said?
Gene Lamont,
Oh, Gene Lamont. Okay.
manager, yeah. Dal Maxville, Dick McAuliffe, another Tiger.
Yeah.
Lindy McDaniel, he was 39. Oh, he's in my.
He
I've
was
used him
your
in my
Giants.
replay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sudden Sam McDowell, his last season was in 75.
Cleveland, right?
No, with the Pirates.
But he was a Indian pitcher.
He was in yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gene Stick Michael, his last season was in 75. More known
Never
as an
mind.
executive than a player.
Yeah. Shortstop.
Jim
mostly.
Northrup.
Another Tiger, huh?
Yeah. Jim Perry, Gaylord's brother,
Yeah.
Minnesota Twins.
Yeah.
Minnesota Twin. Yep. Veda Pinson, his last year was in 75.
Another good player.
He
Sonny
finished
Siebert,
Oakland?
next. Yeah, with Oakland. Yeah, for actually Kansas City
Oh, they
for the
okay.
A's.
Okay.
Actually, no, for the Royals would have been in.
He was
Yeah.
in India at one time, wasn't he? Siebert?
Yes, Siebert was in Indiana at one point. Yes. Yeah. No, Pinson went from Cincinnati to St. Louis for a year, then Cleveland for 2 years, then the Angels for 2 years, and then the Royals for 2 years. Yeah, Sonny Siebert, and then that's about it. Eddie Watt, who was a good pitcher for the Orioles his last year, and Clyde Wright, whose son pitched for the Indians.
Oh, okay. He was with the Angels in '67, wasn't he?
Yep. Let's see here. Right. Yep, he was with the and then he ended with the Rangers in 25 games. He was with the Brewers in 74.
It seemed for like a lot of years there, the Angels had really good pitching, but no offense.
Yep.
Back when they had like Sandy Alomar Jr. or Senior, I mean.
Yeah.
Senior, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Let's look up some of their let's look up the 67 Angels.
That's like late 60s, early 70s, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim Fregosi, who was supposed to be the best thing since sliced bread. Jose Cardinal,
Yeah.
Buck Rogers, Don Mincher was. Go look up Don Mincher's little career. He had a nice little career.
Yeah.
Big Johnstone, Woody Held, former Indian.
Yeah.
Moose Scourin, but that was later in his career.
Yeah.
But yeah, no pitching. So
What kind of career did Chico Salmon have? I remember his. Yeah.
Chico Simone.
Simone, was it?
I think it was Simone. I
Simone.
think the let's see here. I
Or
wish
his-
Retro Sheet does what Baseball Reference does and just uses a search button instead of
Yeah.
having to like go through about.
Yeah. I remember he was on a team in '67. I don't remember which one, but
He was with the Indians in 67.
Cool.
Who
And
was?
then he was what's that?
Is his name spelled Salmon?
yeah.
Salmon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, okay.
He died in 2000. But no, he was,
Wow.
and then he was with the Orioles in 69, 70, 71, and 72.
So they pronounce it Salmon?
I think it's Simone. Let's see here.
Salmon? No
What,
L.
what position was he?
He was
Outfield, maybe utility?
like outfield, first base, second. Yeah, like utility player. Essentially, he played all the positions.
Ah, okay. Like a Tony Phillips.
Yes.
I noticed there's a lot of guys in baseball nowadays that play a lot of different positions. Yeah. I was
Chris
noticing that.
Taylor
Tony
from the
Phillips was
Dodgers
a
is
good hitter.
a good one for
Yeah.
that.
Tony Phillips
Sure.
used to have a high on base percentage, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's why he stuck around for the long time. God rest his soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's deceased too. Maybe for my last start for the McCormick replay, I'll name the few players from the Giants that are still alive. Not many of them.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Actually, I think a lot of the starters might be alive. Willie Mays is 93 and he's still alive.
Oh, is he? Okay.
I think 93 for Willie Mays. Yeah, he's still alive. I think Helen Neer's still alive because he was a manager, I believe.
One of those middle infielders recently passed, didn't he?
Let's see.
Lanier or Fuentes, one of those two, I think, recently.
There was a quote that's going around on Facebook about Tito Fuentes. It's like, why would you want to throw at me? I've got 6 kids. Tito's still alive at 81. And so is Lanier. Yep, he's still alive. And I believe Willie McCovey is he still alive?
No.
No, he died in 2018.
Yeah.
And let's see here. I'll just go over all of them. Let's see. Tom Holler died in 2004.
Oh, Yeah.
Jim Ray
Yeah.
Hart died
Los
in
Angeles
2016.
Which year?
made it.
For Hart?
2016 for Jim Ray Hart. Jesus Alou is still alive.
Left field.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mays will be 92 in
Dominican.
May.
He was born too during World
Yeah.
War.
Ollie Brown died in 2015.
Jack Hyatt?
I'll get to him. He is still alive. Let's see here. Dick Beats
Where's the score
died in
here?
2005 at 63. Oof. Let's see here. Jim Davenport died in 2016. Ken Henderson is still alive at 76. He was a youngie. 21 in 67. Bobby Schroeder is still alive. Dick Groat is still alive at 92. In fact, he called the Pitt Panthers basketball games up until only a couple of years ago. He's a really good basketball player, Dick Groat.
He
I
won
think
a
he
Mackey
even
title
played.
one year, didn't he?
Yes. Let's see here. He
Was it 60 or something?
yeah, Dick Groat played for the Fort Wayne Pistons for 2 years. Won it in 60. He won the batting title
Yeah, World Series year.
and was the MVP.
And he had a couple
And,
good years with the Cardinals when they went to the World Series in
He
64,
was-
63, the year before. He played pretty well.
Yep, he went. Let's see what his 64 stats were. Let's see, 1960. And he lost 2 years due to military service too, Dick Groat.
Mm.
So 60 he batted 325 and won an MVP. Defense was sure a hell of a lot bigger with 50 RBIs. 63 batted 319 and 64 batted 292, so that's not bad.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see if I can find any more. I think Ohio State's playing tonight on Fox for basketball.
Who are they playing? Do you know who they're playing? Indiana?
Yes,
Indiana.
at
Okay.
Assembly Hall.
I like basketball. I love basketball. Yeah.
Ohio State's
I'll watch the end of this Illinois, Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's what I just turned on. 43-37.
Yep.
I just turned on Arkansas and Baylor.
Nice.
That's in ESPN.
Arkansas have a good team.
Who?
Not really.
Arkansas, they have a good team this year. No,
Not
not bad. Not the best. No.
Not the best. Baylor is in the top 25.
Yeah,
Is it?
Baylor 17.
Are they? Yeah.
Basketball's so screwy this year with they got the way it used to be. Now it's Charleston. Used to be a College of Charleston, and
Yes.
Florida Atlantic are in the top 25.
Are they really?
Right.
Yeah, because they at one point I think that they were on a 16-game winning streak. Florida Atlantic was.
Wow. Yeah, I like college basketball, but I just haven't watched much of it yet this season. So
Me neither, really.
Now's the time that everybody's going to get into it, so they know what to pick for March.
I love March Madness.
Yes.
All the conference tournaments. I love it.
Oh yeah, I love that stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah, you got TCU is 11th in the country. Not normally a basketball powerhouse.
Yeah.
Charleston
Michigan?
is 8th. Oh, Michigan's not having a great season.
They're not having a great season at all.
Who are
No,
they?
Somebody else.
Michigan is not even receiving votes.
What about UConn? University of Connecticut.
Oh,
They're 19th.
19. Okay, good.
19th in the
I'll go for
country.
them.
Kent State is somehow getting some love.
oh,
They got 24 votes in the last poll.
you know, they've lost 4 games. They lost to Houston, College of Charleston, Virginia,
Wow.
and I don't know who they lost to last week.
Oh, they
That's
lost.
pretty
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's pull up Kent State. Let's see what they beat Buffalo yesterday by 6.
Yeah, it was on last night late.
Let's see, who did they lose to? Yeah, they had their tune-up games against Northern Kentucky and Baldwin Wallace.
Oh,
Yeah, they lost to Charleston only by 2, and they only lost to Houston by 5, 49-44. And they lost to Gonzaga by 7.
oh, Gonzaga, not Virginia. Okay, Gonzaga.
And the only other loss was to
Should have been a conference game, I think.
Northern Illinois.
NIU.
Just happy about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
on Tuesday they beat Northern Illinois beat Kent State.
All right. Is Rutgers ranked?
Don't think so.
I don't think so, but boy, they play tough. They play tough.
They do. Yeah, they're 4th behind in receiving votes. They're not an easy out if you're playing them.
No.
Did they beat Ohio State?
Yes,
Yeah, anybody can beat Ohio State this year.
unless Iowa. They did. Ohio State did beat Iowa.
How about Iowa?
Didn't Rutgers knock off somebody that was undefeated though?
Purdue, I think.
Purdue, that's what that was. Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, St. Mary's is 22 and New Mexico is 25. I think that's where Steve Alford is.
What, New Mexico?
Yeah.
Iowa versus Rutgers.
Albuquerque?
Mhm.
Tuesday, January 31st.
Albuquerque.
Northwestern.
Yeah, I
Tomorrow.
think-
Sorry to watch it, guys. Not tomorrow. Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah. And then today, when's the Senior Bowl and all the college All-Star games? Is that this weekend or next?
Game tonight.
NFL Network, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, everything NFL Network has all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get that anymore. So
There's one Thursday night.
Thursday
and I
night.
think one next Saturday, I think.
Okay. And there's only about 6 of them now, right?
3. According to my phone, there was only 3 on ESPN. The All-Star games.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have the Hula Bowl no more. No Blue Gray game. Or
That was always the joy to wake up on Christmas morning and after
yeah,
opening
yeah.
up all the
exactly.
presents to watch the Blue-Gray
Blue-Gray.
game. But then the talent got so disparaging when they said, "Oh, if you score, you get the ball back."
Yeah.
Just make up rules on the fly. And then either that or nobody attended. Gee, who wants to wake up in Birmingham, Alabama at noon on Christmas Day and go watch an All-Star game for the teams that didn't make bowl games?
Right.
Like, nah, I think I got better things to do. It's like all these people that go to the noon Christmas Day basketball games.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess. I mean, get all the presents open by 9 a.m.
Right. Yeah.
and then you take an hour to get ready and then drive down there,
Yep.
so that you get ready for it. Now, Cleveland, when they were good, when they had LeBron, would play the 3:00 game. That's a nice time. That's when the game should start, not at noon.
Right. I agree.
Like-
Christmas, yeah.
Because
Makes sense.
because then you're saying West Coast, let's play basketball at 9 a.m.
Right.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
How about Iowa? Iowa's not
Maybe
ranked. huh?
Tucumcari, Hawaii.
1, 2, 3. Doesn't say. I don't know how they do that. They should say wins and losses instead of just Iowa. I'm looking at Iowa stats, Iowa basketball.
Yeah.
They don't have. They have a sheet, a PDF. Shows who they played, who won, who lost. Doesn't have overall wins and losses that I see.
Iowa.
They lost. They seem to have lost more than they won more than they lost.
Well, you go to
Right,
ESPN
plus
site, and that
key
should give you what their record
Yes.
is.
ESPN site. That's what I'll do.
12 and well, they're 12 and 8.
12 and 8. Yeah,
But they don't
okay.
give the conference. Oh, here's the conference record: 4 and 5 in conference.
That's why they're not doing so well in conference. Yeah, that makes a difference.
No.
Big difference, right?
Yep.
I see.
Well, like I said,
Alabama-
yeah, Eastern Illinois lost to them. Ouch, that hurts. And Nebraska, yeah, but you've won the last 4. Although you did have that game postponed against Northwestern because of the COVID outbreak.
This year?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. Still have that happen amazingly
Ooh, Alabama got beat today, huh?
by.
Oklahoma
Oh wow, that's a mild upset.
Wow.
by 24.
Holy cow!
I just
Let's see
seen
who's
that.
ranked here.
They have some players suspended or something.
Or did they get some players in foul trouble, or did they? Let's see what their what the
I
stats of that
just seen
game
the
are.
score. I don't know.
Let's see here.
Maybe there was a fight and some ejections or something.
Let's see here.
Purdue Boilermakers.
Yeah, Auburn got beat today.
Yep, they sure did by West Virginia.
Oh, West by God.
West by God. Yep, 93-69.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
Good Lord. Let's see this box score here for the game. Let's see. Alabama went 25 of 66 from the field. Let's see what that percentage
That's
is.
good.
No.
37%. I'm just a
Wow.
guess.
Yeah, 37%, 38%. Yep.
Wow. I just guessed at that.
And 6 of 22 from the line. No, 13 of 21 from the line.
That's
There were
still
6
not
of 22 from 3. That's not good.
good. No.
Meanwhile, Oklahoma was 34 of 59 from the field. That's over 50%.
About 60%.
Yep. And 9 of 13 from 3. That'll help. And it's 16 of 19 from the line. So,
Yeah, it shot well.
yes, let's see if I get the turnovers here. Not 13 apiece for both teams, so not overly advantageous.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see here then.
Well, I think I'm going to step away from here.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
Take care, Larry.
That's all I have an idea. It's about 5 o'clock. I'm going to
Yeah.
grab something for
yeah,
dinner.
I think it's probably good to step away
Yeah.
for a little while.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
All right. Keith, thanks
Yeah.
for hosting.
Yeah, Keith, thanks for hosting. You guys take care.
Oh,
And
no problem.
it was interesting. Yes.
Yeah, just have something to do for a little while. Yeah, have a
Yeah,
good one.
I
David.
know. You too, Keith. Take care, buddy.
You too. Bye bye. Hey, Alex, I'm going to sign off now. Thanks for stopping in now. Bye bye.